Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to have two different games against my guy Jayjeezer. And if you don't know who Jayjeezer is, he's another content creator. Been around for a while and is probably the nicest guy in the community, always helping out other people's channels. Not the first time I've collaborated with him. He's always given me the time of day. So on screen now, you'll see his YouTube channel here. He posts SBC content and UFC 4 content. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and let him know that you came from me. He'll also be uploading two separate games, so it won't be the same as on here, so go check out that. And yeah, without further ado, getting straight into it, I'll be using TJ Dillashaw versus his Corey Sandhagen. So as you can see, it's a 5-round fight, which I do believe is what favours me in most matchups. I'm not the greatest when it comes to 3-round fights. I'm definitely better when it comes to 5-round fights. I'm a lot more tactical. I like to take my time with things. And prior to this, I don't want to ruin Jay's video, but we had two fights in which he used Sugar Sean and I used Cheeto, and they were 3-round fights. And I definitely feel like I'm better off in a 5-round fight. And I know in a lot of tournaments I think it is 3-round fights, so that's something I definitely have to adjust to. I'm thinking of joining I think it's called the MMA League. I know Jay's in it. JMMA's in it and Jayjeezer's in it, and you basically pick a fighter and you just use that fighter and you match up against other, I don't know if it's content creators or anyone in general, but I'm thinking of joining that, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. Any content suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments as well, and if you enjoy this type of content, please feel free to let me know and I'll try to collaborate with more UFC 4 content creators, because I do strongly believe that iron sharpens iron. So when you're facing other elite level fighters, you're only going to get better yourself, and who better to do it with than Jayjeezer. So you can see I already got the stun off with throwing the uppercut, and I don't really like using TJ too much, so I did tell him preemptively before we got into these fights that I will be looking to wrestle more, because you know that is how I fight online, that's how I formulate my game plan. So I just let him know in advance that there may be some wrestling, and obviously he was cool with that. It's never an issue, but I feel like often or not when you do spar people, it is more predominantly stand up. So I just thought I'd give him that little heads up to know that, you know, it can go to the ground if need be, and he can also do the same thing, just so you know everyone's on the same playing field. I think that's definitely very important, because you don't want to get into a fight with someone, start taking them to the ground, and they're getting annoyed because, you know, they didn't know that was part of the rule set. So with TJ, where he's so versatile, and he's just got the phenomenal ability to mix up everything very, very well, and where these two had such a phenomenal fight in real life, I did actually have Corey winning that fight in real life. So the reason I picked TJ here was because I was looking to grapple again, and it was the control time that won him that fight. So you can see definitely very aggressive, sneaking in that lead uppercut a lot, which is something that I don't throw often. It's a tool that I underutilize a lot, is the uppercut, and it actually catches me out a lot. And one thing I noticed from the 4 fights I had with Jay is just I don't really protect my body well enough, and it's definitely more prevalent in 3-round fights, because I was getting tagged up to the body a lot, which is something that moving forwards I'm going to look to adjust. And next time I play him, hopefully we can see the subtle differences there, because that's something that's always been an issue for me, and it's getting hit with the uppercut myself, so that's something that I'm trying to take away from my performances. So solid first round, definitely making some reads there, got the fight to the ground temporarily, but Jay of course done a good job in getting up, and it's not surprising he's a high level opponent. You can see trying to work the legs, just because Sandhagen's so long, and once you eliminate that leg as a basis, it makes things a lot easier for you, takes the power off his strikes, and it's just another target to go for. However, the problem with leg kicks is once they start getting checked, which Jay's doing a good job of here, it then starts to deteriorate your leg health very, very quickly also. So it can be a double-edged sword, so you've got to be very careful with how you approach throwing those leg kicks. Obviously here you can see that I'm pressuring him a lot, really trying to take away that stamina, because I know he's going to work the body to a very good degree. So in my head, the more I pressure him, the more I get up close, because obviously I don't have that reach advantage, and the more I work in my boxing range, the easier it will be for me. So you can really see that I'm trying to do as much damage as possible to the head, just to counteract the damage he's going to do to the body. And I'm mixing in the body shots here and there, but it's predominantly going for leg attacks, as I sneak in a beautiful knee there, and he lands a beautiful hook there, which drops me. So now we're one knockdown each. I had a knockdown in the first, he's got a knockdown in the second. So as it stands, he is definitely winning this round unless I get a knockdown to match it. So now's about being patient and not getting caught with anything again, because he does have the reach advantage. So I don't want to get hit with a cross or a hook when I'm trying to get into boxing range. You can see that Jay's preemptively, he's denying low constantly because he's trying to block them leg kicks. So it's deterring me from shooting takedowns and also going for a leg kick. And funny enough, as I said that, I shot a takedown and went for a leg kick. So yeah, it was something to play on my mind. And one thing that I'm trying to do here is, you can see I'm making the reads now. I'm trying to find the appropriate reach for certain moves and skill sets. I'm trying to see okay, if I step in here, is he going to throw a roundhouse, is he going to throw a leg kick? And you'll see that I'm moving in and out very well. I'm just trying to make those reads. And one read I had already made was that when he backs up to the fence, I can get that fence takedown. So I can either go for a clinch and work the takedown, but that's my least preferred way of doing it, or I can go for a leg kick and then shoot for the takedown. And here, this is just beautiful work. I mean, he got another knockdown, well deserved, and it's just very tricky, very good work. But I'm not really going to let it deter me. It's been a very good second round for him, but there's a lot of rounds to work with, and this is why I prefer 5-round fights, because in a 3-round fight, you go into the next round and that's it. You've got to do what you can with that round in order to get a decision or look to get a finish. But with a 5-round fight, you just have more leeway. You can lose obviously more rounds, and then you can really push through it. And here you can see, get the stun, go for an elbow. I didn't really want to block breaks. You see I disengaged there, and also I didn't want that threat of the elbow sneaking in through, because that's what he rocked me with prior. So I was being very patient with that. So he had a very, very good round there, knocked me down twice, I believe. And towards the end, you can see that the pressure started looming large again, and it started paying dividends, because backed him up towards the cage. If I had more time to work with, definitely would have shot for a takedown. And he catches me again with that beautiful spinning heel kick, and I just didn't expect it. It's something that just came out of the blue. It was the range there that he found was absolutely perfect for that kick. I thought I just would have been out of that range, but absolutely perfect. You see, he snuck in that lead overhand there as well. So mixing up the attacks, definitely going for the legs a lot more, and you can see that my leg health is definitely deteriorating faster than his. I mean, if you look at his leg health there, definitely in a better position than mine, and I'm getting attacked a lot more now. So a knockdown to start the round definitely isn't good, because you know, he's won this round already unless I get a knockdown. He stuns me there with the leg health event, and probably didn't expect me to tee off as I did there. But teeing off actually allowed me to, you know, get some breathing room, get some respect, and he's going for the legs again. So I can see he's going for the legs a lot now. And although I'm under an immense amount of pressure here, my health stats aren't in the best position. His head health is also not in the greatest position. I feel like my power is still translating fairly well. So right now, the main priorities for me is to really watch out for my leg health. Of course, be careful for the spinning attacks, because they've been doing a very good job for him. And to stay in a good range, so I'm either all the way in or all the way out. That's exactly what it needs to be, especially with the damage that's been done. Good movement there. You can see that he knows that I want to sort of take him in towards the cage, and by doing so, he's literally rotating away from it. He's being extremely smart, because the longer he stays on that cage, not only is he boxed in, which you don't want to be boxed in, there's just way more of a threat of a takedown. And I get the knockdown here, so I believe that's one knockdown each this round, if I'm remembering correctly. And then from that knockdown, get the takedown, and here's where I'm going to look to do some work on the ground. So far, every time the fight's gone to ground, Jay's done a phenomenal job of nullifying my attack. Very good at transitioning, and you can see get the deny here, and it's just about being patient with these high level players and just slowly whittling away. Predominantly in this position here, you can see I try to take backside, and he does a very good job in denying it and then working me to the fence. Now obviously I knew he was going to go up, and I was really trying to get that deny, but it just didn't work. And here, that there is a very important glimpse of just finding range. I knew in that position there, that's exactly what he'd go for, is that front kick, because the front kick's very effective there. And what you find is a lot of players will duck, because they're expecting a hook, or maybe they're expecting that spinning heel kick. So what he done to counteract that, of course, was go with the front kick. But that read there is very, very significant because it shows that I've got the timing when it comes to his front kick. And whenever you slip a front kick like that, it is extremely detrimental because all you've got to do is land a hook, and I'm going to say there's a 99% chance that, especially with his head health, if you see his head health there, that if you land it, they're going to sleep. There's literally no other way about it. And you see here that I catch the roundhouse to the body. I try to take him to the fence. I knew he was going to throw that knee, and I was like, okay, let me just wait. And you know, he still caught me with the knee. He tried to throw the switch kick again, caught it, ended up getting into the fence and getting the takedown. I don't know if you saw TJ Dillashaw's arm there for that takedown, but it was as dislocated his shoulder as it was in real life against Aljamain Sterling. I don't know how the animation worked out. And he gets to the sprawl position here, try to get to backside. And I noticed because we play in different areas, obviously. Jayjeezer over in America, I'm in the UK, so the ping isn't always the greatest, and pre-denying that's hard as it is. So I thought, you know what, let me get up rather than waste time, because on the feet right now I'm doing pretty good work. So even though on the ground I feel like I can definitely have success, I feel like right now on the feet I'm in a position where Corey's head health's in a position where I just need to touch it, and you can see there goes that front kick again. So I'm starting to realise he's really trying to get this front kick off, and I'm pushing him towards the cage here, definitely controlling the centre of the octagon. And right now I could look to clinch, and I'm getting a read on the way he's swaying, so I throw my right hook to cut off the octagon. And what you could do is sway in the same direction. You see he goes for a clinch there, duck, because I was expecting the elbow, which is one of the first times in all the fights I had with him where I instinctively denied the elbow. He's normally very good at pull countering and sneaking that in, and that is a weakness of mine. It's something that I've got to do better with. Good combo there, goes to the front kick again, and that's the read that I made. So once you make those little reads, it's very, very important to build off of those. I knew that in that specific scenario, that specific distance, that would be the kick that he would go for, and he done everything right. He went leg, he went body, and then he went to the head. So he mixed it up perfectly. It was just a little read that I made and ended up getting him slept in the fourth. But you can see that as the rounds went on, the pressure started to build, started to get better and better. And as a result of that, ended up winning the fight. So that was a very good fight. It's probably one of my favourite fights I've had against the content creator. And the fights on his channel, there's one fight in particular that's so back and forth, and that was also one of my favourites. So I definitely had extremely good fights with Jay, and definitely learned a lot about what I need to improve on, and it's just good fighting elite level players. Now we're in the middleweight division, and he is using the champ Israel Adesanya, and I am going to be using Vettori. And Vettori, I don't think, gets the respect he deserves on this game because he's actually a very, very good fighter to use. I really enjoy using him. I think he's very, very well rounded. Yeah, on the feet, he's definitely not as good as the elite of the elite. But one thing I feel like Vettori translates well to me is just an MMA fighter. Like, that's it. He is an MMA fighter. He can mix things together fairly well. His striking turns into his grappling or turns into clinch work, and it all translates very, very well. So that is why I picked Vettori. I do believe he's very underrated. And now I know Jay's got a phenomenal Israel Adesanya. If you've never seen him use Izzy before, you should definitely check it out. He does very, very, very clean work with Israel Adesanya. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm not going to pretend to be on the feet and, you know, try out strike him. But my game plan for this is obviously to wear Israel down, and once it gets into the later rounds, if I have a stamina advantage, potentially look for a submission. And one thing I notice with a lot of players, whether they're high level or low level, is that as the fights get onto the later rounds, if you haven't already tried submissions in round, let's say 1 to round 3, they're not going to expect that coming into round 4 and 5. They're just expected you to lay on them and expecting it to be that sort of fight. But if you try sneak in a submission in the 4th or 5th when they're already tired, you've already got the advantage and they're not pre-instinctively going to deny it. So definitely something I look to do in all of my fights. You'll see that I really build up to the submission finish, especially against elite level fighters. So right here I'll tell you the game plan off the bat. I'm obviously going to look to get the fight on the ground. We all know that, okay? But when it's on the feet, I'm actually going to look to check as many leg kicks as possible and then retaliate with leg kicks of my own. And I'm going to look to throw teep kicks, which is sort of counterproductive because I am at a reach disadvantage. You think I want the fight to be as close as possible to be in boxing range. However, it's just the two things I'm really going to look to do. So the main goal throughout this fight is check those legs, because once he's on wobbly legs, it'll be easier to take him down and it will be easier to get knockdowns as a result of leg kicks. So that was definitely the main goal, and you'll see how that progresses as the fight goes on. I only had 3 significant strikes in that round, but had a good amount of control time, so probably lost it on 2 judges' scorecards, and then judge 2, I might have edged it. But you never really know how the judges judge it. So once touch gloves, obviously you're just doing something, and then we continue. And yeah, got to be very, very patient, and you can see good leg kick there. Got a big reaction out of Izzy, and you can see the health stats here. And it's very important to keep my health stats as high as possible. And whenever Izzy goes to the body, I'm going to try to catch those kicks, and I'm going to try to take him towards the cage. So that's it. That's going to be it. I'm really going to look to check leg kicks. Going to obviously work the head and body where possible, but really strike in order to grapple. And I'm just going to try and make as many reads as possible. And then I'm not really going to shoot for too many takedown attempts in the center of the octagon. As you see here, catch the kick, wiggle away. And I thought he was going to fly a knee as he had done before, so I actually chose to disengage before I got there and not get hit with the knee, and then instantly shoot for a takedown. So it was sort of trying to psychologically mess with him, because it was like, okay, he's not going for the takedown, he's disengaged, and as soon as he's got a moment to breathe, it's bang, get him straight to the ground. So I don't often shoot double or single legs too much against elite level players. I really like to let the cage do the work for me, because I just think statistically it's a lot harder for even elite level fighters to deny cage takedowns. I mean, you see it all the time. My favorite content creator is is GOAT, and even sometimes it's very, very rare just because of the skill level he's at, but I know he used to have difficulties in denying certain of the cage takedowns. So if the best player in the world had difficulties denying it, obviously now he's got a lot better with it, but if he had difficulties at one point, it just means that the rest of the 95% of the player base should also have difficulties with it. So just using that as like an educated guess, that is exactly what I go for now. I go for predominant cage takedowns, and it puts yourself in way less danger, because once you work it to the cage, the worst you can get hit with is the knees to the body. But you try to shoot for a takedown against someone that's an elite level in the center of the octagon, not only can they keep denying it and wasting your stamina, but you can get hit with an uppercut, you can get caught with a knee, you can get caught with a head kick, which has happened to me when I'm trying to film a Jack Hermanson showcase, which is a video I'm trying to get out to you guys. And I'm also trying to get out a takedown video, which is something that I'm really working on. But those videos take time, because it's important to find the right clips and give out the right information, because the last thing you want to do is misinform you guys. And I just want to say thank you for all the support. I think I've hit 378 subscribers at the time of recording this, and I just want to say it means the world. I really appreciate you guys. All the interactions, whether it's comments or likes, mean a tremendous amount. I'm happy that my content is entertaining you, and I've seen a lot of comments saying that it's helping them, and that's exactly what I make content for. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm extremely grateful for you guys, and like I said, any comments, any suggestions, any improvements, I will take it all as constructive criticism. So please let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to see, and bear in mind, I will get to working on it. It might not come out straight away, might take a little while, but I will not forget what you have commented, and I will look to, work on those things. So yeah, just want to say a big thank you to you guys as we start here in round 3. So I'd say 2 very dominant rounds. The first round's up for debate how it's scored, because again, damage done is the main criteria, especially in real life, and obviously with the judges on the game, it's all about damage done, and he had the more significant strikes. And Izzy's switch kick is just so damn fast, but if you see the leg healths here, the difference in leg healths, will go for the same leg kick and the same hook, which is incredibly funny actually. You can see Izzy's leg health is not in the greatest position, so as it stands, the game plan is working very, very well. And I clinch here, land 2 knees to the body, disengage, and I'm just trying to whittle away at that leg off. As soon as I see that block come up, bang, crack that leg. And obviously, Vettori isn't going to have the greatest leg kicks in the world, but It's just small increments of damage that are going to build up over time, and with them, with checking the leg kicks, it's just going to keep building up, and that's exactly what I'm looking to do. And obviously, of course, I'm definitely looking to get this fight to the ground. You see fake the jab there, and Izzy's obviously got, I think he's got a 99 switch stance, which is, you know, understandable, one of the greatest strikers I've seen in my life. But you can see, oh, good uppercut there from Jay. I'm just being patient. I'm not forcing the takedown. I'm trying to be unpredictable. A good front kick lands there, out of range for that leg kick. But I'm really trying to whip away at that stamina. And you can see, as soon as he starts to get pressured, he backs away towards the fence and fake the jab and then go straight in for the power takedown here. And that takedown, again, is another takedown with a very, very high success rate. And I'm expecting him to get to sprawl here. And then from sprawl, you know, transition up. So trying to deny it as much as possible. But this transition, I just couldn't deny. Like, for the sake of me, I couldn't deny. So I thought, let me just get some body shots in and try to deny it. Didn't deny it. He pushes me to the cage, and, you know, worst comes to worst, he lands a couple of knees. We disengage. Good leg kick to follow. And then he tries following with the hook. So right now, I feel like I'm making the necessary adjustments and necessary reads. Definitely picking up on what he's trying to throw. I'm doing a better job of counteracting that spinning heel kick to the head, because that is something that he lands very, very well with Sandhagen, who's of course an elite level striker as well. Definitely not on Izzy's level when it comes to striking, but definitely comparable, because that kick was doing a lot of damage to me. And one thing I noticed from the two fights on Jay's channel is that the side-to-side movement he was doing to stray away from the jabs is something that I was being very, very cautious of. Like, he was using it very, very well. So we clinch here after he clinched, and I just rip two to the body as he goes two to the head, throwing that spinning heel kick again. And here I was under pressure a bit. He's backed me towards the cage, so I've got to be very careful not to get hit with anything too big. You can see trying to utilize my block. I will take a punch here and there just to avoid the damage on my block. And just showing you the fight stats there quickly as it whizzed through. But if you need to see that in more depth, it will get shown at the end of the video. But you can also pause to look back at it. So as the fight's going on now, you can see that stamina levels fairly similar. Leg health is definitely more deteriorated for him. My body's in a very, very good condition, as is his. And my head health's in a more favourable position. And this is a sign of improvement for me, because the body is what was getting worked in all of my other fights with Jay. That's definitely the thing that was hurting the most. It was what he had most success going to. And obviously a quick way to deter going to the body is throwing uppercuts, staying out of range, also working the body. But most importantly is you can't throw body shots when you're on the ground. So it's definitely what I was looking to do. I was looking to get the fight to the ground, looking to control, and just, you know, tee off at that head as much as possible on the ground, so that when we get to the feet, the success rate for landing a punch that ends up knocking down Izzy is higher. So that's definitely something I was trying to consciously do. And you'll definitely see that these two fights I'm showing here compared to the two fights on his channel, you'll see there's been adjustments made over the time. And when I'm at my best is when I'm mixing everything up. So that's definitely something I'm going to try to look to do in the future when facing content creators. But it's very good to practice in areas that you're weak in. My stand-up's my weakest area, so when I'm facing someone that's very, very good in their stand-up, as Jayjeezer is, you know, I'll always take that opportunity to try practice and take little bits out of his game that I can implement into mine, because like I said, iron sharpens iron. And we get another takedown here from the cage wall, and this is something that, like I'm saying, elite level fighters have severe difficulty denying these takedowns. And if you don't get that takedown, it's fine. You'll just keep chain wrestling and you'll find a way to get the fight onto the ground. And again, very, very good job here. And we actually get the backside transition. So this is the first time Jay has allowed me to get to backside, and from here I get to back mount, and he does the right thing in giving up top mount, because it's hard to deny this transition here. Had he have gone to half guard, I would have probably denied it, flattened him out and looked to do some damage. And there what popped up was the knee bar, right? And I was looking at his stamina and I was like, ooh, I could get it, but I didn't want to risk it. That's why I sort of hesitated. That knee bar catches a lot of people out. We get backside again here, so this might just be a sign that, you know, he's just starting to get more tired in denying these transitions. It's been a lot harder. we take his back, and then we rotate him straight back to the ground. So it's a very, very grinding process, but that knee bar was very, very tempting, and had his stamina been a little bit lower, I definitely would have gone for it, and I definitely think it would have been unexpected. And right here, I'm just looking to deny transitions. I see he's trying to go to full guard, do a lot of good damage here, like a lot. That was very, very good work in terms of significant strikes, and just overall a very good job this round of denying the transitions, and we finished the round on top, which isn't necessarily that important, but it's good to end the round on top. So flick through the stats there. We're coming into the fifth, and I'm expecting a very, very, very aggressive Jay here, because as it stands, I would probably give every round to myself. The first is the one that's really up for debate, but after that, I'd say it's been, you know, a fairly shut off performance. It's been he's definitely had his moments throughout the rounds, but overall it's been the grappling that's really taken control of it. My leg kicks have played a factor, and just done a good job in neutralizing what Jay's good at and what Izzy's good at, just staying out of that range, where possible, protecting the body. And ultimately it's the checking of the leg kicks that I believe was the foundation of success, because it took away one of Izzy's best things. So gets me in the clinch there, lands 2 knees. I just stand there and wait for it to break and hit him with 2 hooks, and I know that, okay, I need to get this fight on the ground, because he's going to be super aggressive. You see, he's waiting for me to come in to try and catch me with something, maybe even shoot a takedown, but I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to look to see what he does. Like, as it stands, I'm up pretty much all the rounds, so I don't need to be in a position to really push through and put myself in the firing line and risk getting hurt for no reason and potentially finish, because if he drops me, gets on top of me, and then gets a finish after all this work done. Beautiful knee, by the way, snuck in there just to do a little bit of damage to the body, then rip twice to the body, which is something I haven't done throughout the fight. And you can see we're just both trading here, both really going for it, and I'm letting him come to me, which is the difference. I'm not really trying to push the pace too much and trying to go for him. I can definitely feel the pressure coming for him now. You see, I sneak in a body shot, he sneaks in an elbow, which is something that I've been caught with in all the fights I had with him, and I sneak in that takedown there very, very well. And now this on the ground, I've got 2 minutes to work with. I know that, look, I've just got to deny a couple transitions here. If I can get to side control, which I do, and he has to get up as quick as possible, because he's not finishing this fight on the ground unless it's by submission, and to do that he needs to get me into full guard, and Izzy doesn't have the full guard sweep, so he's going to have to get me to half guard, and then half guard to full guard, which just isn't going to happen. So I know he's trying to get up as much as possible. We get the 2 deniers, stamina's low, and I go for my second favourite submission. It used to be my favourite submission at the time, and if you guys don't know about this submission, now you know, because this submission is absolutely filthy. The Kimura transition into the armbar is a sweet submission. It's very, very easy to sink, especially when they don't have stamina, and you can see at this point here, that is how the fight's going to finish. So after very, very successful rounds, we built up, we grinded down, and we ended up getting the submission finish. So huge thank you to Jayjeezer. Check him out. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Go check him out. Go see our videos. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more UFC 4 content. I'll see you next time. Thank you.